is lekker opbrengen.
Valdien, wait.
Ever since I can remember, exercise, movement, sport has always played a really big role in my life. My parents were both professional athletes and I was primed to follow in their footsteps. I can't remember a single time in my life where I wasn't playing soccer. I started at the age of 4 and I haven't stopped since. And this has worked out pretty nicely for me in the leg department since I've never done a leg day in my life. I started gymnastics when I was about 6 years old and carried on until I was 14. I was pretty good. I won nationals almost every single year. I went to Zimbabwe for an African Games competition and won almost everything there. I even went to Switzerland at 12 years old for an Olympic training camp. Too bad I quit right as high school started and right before I hit puberty. In the long run, it just wasn't for me. I don't have any regrets about it because it allowed me to focus my attention and take my football career to the next level. The one thing I was truly passionate about. This did mean, however, that I didn't really develop my upper body. And so I've always been pretty disproportional when it comes to my upper body versus my lower body. Honestly, it didn't bother me too much for most of my life. I didn't even really take notice until the end of university. All I knew is that I was fit and I was healthy and I was playing the sport that I loved, so it didn't really matter to me. I then moved to New York City after university to pursue my creative career in the Big Apple. So I didn't really spend too much time working on my body. I even stopped playing soccer for over a year, which in retrospect wasn't the best decision, but here we are. Anyway, getting jacked was not at the top of my list. And then in 2021, everything changed. I broke up with my girlfriend of 5 years and all of my insecurities started popping up like pimples on a teenager. Most notably, my lack of any muscle above my waist. So I did what any young, heartbroken man would do. I hit the weights and started lifting. I also got really big into rock climbing, so more often than not, I would go climbing and then use the climbing gym to do a workout session as well. This made for a really nice symbiotic relationship, where I stuck for it for quite a while and my base weight went from about 165 pounds to 180 pounds and I felt much better in my own skin. It still wasn't exactly where I wanted to be, but I could see the progress. I could see that I was getting to the place I wanted to be. But then life happened. I traveled, I got a new girlfriend, and I kind of fell off the train for a little bit. Like a good 4 or 5 months of not working out. And not that I wasn't doing anything, I was still playing soccer, but I wasn't going to the gym, I wasn't lifting weights, I wasn't putting on any muscle. If anything, I was burning off all the muscle that I just put on the previous year. But I was happy, I was comfortable, and I was thriving again. So what was the point of working out? It's not like I got fat and started eating McDonald's and KFC every day. I treat my body really well, and I always have eaten very healthy. But in the back of my mind, there's always been this little voice, this nagging voice that tells me that I should still be working. I should still be putting the effort in. And not because I need to, but because I want to. I love pushing myself and overcoming challenges. And this is one of the easiest, healthiest, and most beneficial challenges to overcome every single day. So I started working out again. Nothing crazy, but just some basic exercises every morning. Some push-ups, some pull-ups, some sit-ups, some lateral raises. It's fine, but after 2 weeks now, the excitement has kind of waned and the lack of gym equipment is really not the best either. Unfortunately, the backpacks with books filled in it just aren't cutting it. Who would have guessed? So, why don't I go to the climbing gym again, you ask? Because I'm annoying and I'm waiting for a new one to open and I don't want to start a membership with my old one again because it's a monthly membership and the new one's supposed to open soon, and so I'm just waiting for the new one to open Just, yeah, it's a whole thing. And why not just go to a regular gym? Because I don't like paying for things that I don't think are completely necessary. And also because most gyms lock you into really stupid contracts that are very difficult to get out of, and I don't really want to deal with that. And also because I like to travel, so I don't want to be paying for something if I'm not going to be here to use the thing. I want to make a whole nother video on my financial philosophy, which allows me to live the life I live, but that's a whole nother story. The main reason is because I'm trying to lower my barrier to entry as much as possible. I want to have the least steps between me and doing the work as possible. And if I need to drive to a gym 15 minutes away to go do a workout, that's just adding an extra step, making it more difficult and making it less likely for me to go do that thing. Especially because going to a gym to work out is not necessarily something I want to do. That's very different from going to a rock climbing gym or going to play soccer. So there's a lot of resistance built up in that. So, getting back to the package, I bet you're wondering what's in the box. You could probably have guessed what it is by now, given all the context, but you're wrong. It's a dead hand. Just kidding, I'm keeping you on your toes. So I just wanted to take a quick second to thank today's sponsor of the video, and that sponsor is me. We don't have a sponsor, but I am sponsoring this video, and today's sponsor is my own Patreon account. Now, in this video, you'll be learning how to build muscle, but not only building muscle with your body, you can now also build muscle with your mind and with your creative muscles. This ad is going so well, this is exactly what I was meant to say. But if you want to see some behind the scenes access to all of my videos, how I do everything, what goes into making all of the videos, I share all of my process work, all of my workbooks, all of the thoughts that goes into making all of these videos over on my Patreon. And not only that, but I also give you early access to all of these videos, so if you love watching them and you want to see them before anyone else, that is the perfect place to go. It is also an ad-free viewing experience, so you won't be seeing an ad like this, and you also won't be seeing any of the YouTube ads. So it'll be an uninterrupted, all-in dive into my mind and how I view the world. You'll also be supporting me and my creativity, allowing me to make more videos like this and keep doing this on a consistent basis. If any of that sounds at all interesting to you, the link will be down in the description below. I appreciate you listening to this, and hopefully I'll see you there. Come say hi. It's weights. Who would have guessed it? But these are not just any old weights. They are really cool adjustable variable dumbbells. They may look ugly, but they are here to serve a plethora of purposes. I now have a new doorstop, a printing press, and a fantastic conversation piece. Oh, and I get to pick them up and put them down repeatedly, and somehow it makes me look and feel good, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so we have our home and travel workout problem solved, but now we have a new problem. I don't have a workout bench. This is not ideal. I don't mind being on the floor, but the fact that my elbows can't extend any lower really limits the movement that I'm able to do. It also stops me from doing some of the other exercise that I want to do, like incline bench press. So I've got some wood left over from my bed build, which I might as well use. This is also really good wood, so I can just cut this to size and try and make something out of it. So just like I spoke about in the building of my bed video, I could easily afford to go buy an actual proper workout bench, and I might honestly end up doing that at some point if this one sucks. But in my self-proclaimed rules for making videos, one of the things is use my hands whenever possible, and I try to apply that to almost all of the creations of my life. I used to do everything digitally and just buy whatever I needed, but ever since I've switched to more analog methods of creation, I've really enjoyed it, and I've found that myself, my own voice, my own hands coming through in a lot of my life, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. So I'm trying to do that with the workout bench as well. We'll see if it works. If it fails, then I'll buy a workout bench. It's not a big deal, but I'd like to have something that's a little bit more compact than the traditional ones, something that can fold up into a really like flat pack, because a lot of them are pretty like bulky and in the way, and I want to be able to fold it down and just like slide it under the couch if I need to. so this is my design. It might not look like much or make any sense right now, but that's okay because it kind of makes sense to me. I'm just trying to figure out structurally how good it'll actually be. And I think that's going to be the biggest challenge, to be honest. I might even do an alternative design, but this is what I have in my brain for right now. So I need some hinges. So during the construction of my new workout bench, I decided to switch from the more triangular, angular design that I did initially to more of a square, rectangle design. It just made a lot more sense in terms of making it compact and fold down. Also just allowing it to be a little bit more sturdy and rigid than relying on complex angles and support structures. Okay, so this is looking good, but I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit skeptical of how stable this is going to be, so we might have to add some reinforcements, but we'll test it out when we get there. Okay, it is time for the big reveal. I've got it folded down into like a flat deck, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, super happy with how it turned out, so let's see how stable this thing actually is. So we got our legs that fold out like this, which is pretty cool. Now, we'll flip it over this. So this is a flat. I mean, it feels pretty solid, but I'm like, if I go either way on this thing, it just feels like it might kind of cave in. Like, if I shift my weight too far one way, it already just... some of the hinges just already gave way, so that's fun. I mean, they didn't give way, they just bent, so that is definitely an issue. I'm gonna have to make some like cross brace kind of support structure to help it so it doesn't bend and shift with the weight. But other than that, it seems pretty good. Like, that is pretty cool. I'm happy with that. I love that I just made that out of the scrap wood that I had. Not bad, not bad. Very not bad. Oh, yep, that's... Yep, we're gonna have to fix that. That is not ideal. It's still not 100% stable, but it is definitely doable. It's not like I'm going to be moving around that much while using this. It's more going to be just laying down still Oh, okay. Let's actually put it to the test quick. So, this is what the weight I'd be using, or roughly the weight I'd be using. Ah! Okay, it definitely moved quite a bit when I laid down, which is not ideal. Also, setting up feels a bit risky. So like, sit up quickly. So it's still got some give in the legs. Yeah, well, that is not ideal. It looks like this nail, or the screw over here, bent up. So it must have bent inside the wood, and that's why this one caved in. Yeah, still not amazing. It is interesting though, because this back one here is solid, and maybe that's just because it's a longer piece of wood. I cut it from a different piece of wood, and the fact that it's different wood. So it just feels super solid, and the groove that I cut in for it to rest on the other screw was like perfect as well. So I think if I can get the others to this quality, then it'll be a lot more stable. It's just like getting it perfect, which is difficult. But I'm having fun. So one of the reasons I'm doing all of this is because I've been reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. You've probably seen it before. It was like a New York Times bestseller. It's still all over the world and like in every self-help guru YouTube channel ever. But he speaks about environment design and basically removing as much friction, as much resistance between you and doing the thing as possible. So that's why I wanted to have more of like a home workout gym, so I don't have to drive to a gym, I don't have to pay for a gym, I don't have to do all those extra steps in between to go actually do the workout that I want to do. The second part of this is environment design. He says that in order to make a habit stick and make it really easy to do every day is to have the things that facilitate that habit already set up and already planned in that environment. So your environment facilitates the habit that you are trying to start. So whether it's working out and having the weights right in front of you, having the workout bench, having your workout clothes all set and ready to go, whether it's having a little creative station so you can pick up tools that you need and just start working and creating whatever you need. You don't have to go buy things, you don't have to download anything, you can just sit down and do the work and get in flow straight away. Or whether it's cooking and you have all your ingredients prepped ready, you have all your knives, your tools, your utensils, all those kind of things. It's making the thing that you want to do easier by taking things off your plate so that you don't have to think about doing things to start doing the thing. So that's why I'm doing this. Another reason that I started working out more is not just for the physical benefits and the health benefits of working out and looking good and feeling good and being healthy, but for the mental challenge of overcoming something. I spoke about this a little bit in the beginning of the video, but I kind of like to do things that are difficult because they are difficult. And it's not just doing random useless things that I know aren't going to benefit me. Of course, working out is healthy for me, but the things I'm doing are very difficult, well, at least for me. So whether it's working out, or I've also been trying to do cold therapy a lot more lately, and that is something that is very difficult, is getting into super cold water for 1 to 2 minutes at the start of your day before you do anything. It sucks, but you feel so amazing once it's done. And the reason this is because I've kind of figured out, I've been journaling, and I think pain and pleasure are relative. So if you're doing something that's really difficult at the start of your day and you overcome that, by comparison, everything else in the day will probably seem a lot easier than doing that thing. So it almost gives you like a head start or one up on the day of like, oh, I've already done this, like I can do anything. Obviously it's not that simple because there might be other challenges that come up that are unrelated to that specific challenge, but I think it's about building the mental resilience, the mental strength to get up and do something every day and overcome that part of your brain that just wants to stay in bed. And that is so difficult to do because I love sleep so much. I love bed so much, but I know that I'm not achieving my dreams in bed. Not to say that sleep and rest aren't important, I'm getting enough sleep, but I could easily sleep for 12 hours a day if I didn't set an alarm. So I've got to do it for myself, to push myself to get up and to overcome a challenge so that I can go on to the rest of the day and be like, yeah, I got this. And do I think that working out has to be done first thing in the morning? No, of course not. You can work out at any point in the day. I think it depends on your life. I think it depends where you're at, the situation that you're in. Of course, waking up early and working out early is a good start to the day because it lets you overcome that challenge. But also if you have other obligations, if you have a 9 to 5, if you have kids that you have to deal with, getting up early gives you that start to the day without any distractions. For me, I've been waking up at 6 o'clock every morning for the past week and a half or so and trying out this routine. And I'm still experimenting with it. I'm not 100% sure if it's for me yet, the waking up super early part. Not even that 6 is that early, but I don't have a 9 to 5. I can pretty much start work whenever and end work whenever I want to. So we all have the same 24 hours in the day. So I don't think it's completely necessary to wake up at 5 a.m. and work out. One thing that has become a non-negotiable for me is working out every day. Even if I can't get to a full workout, as long as it's just doing 5 push-ups a day, 10 push-ups, like the bare minimum, just to try and create the habit to keep working out and to keep moving and to keep being in shape and be the person that doesn't miss a workout. Is this sustainable? I don't know, but I'm here figuring it out, and maybe in a month, 2 months, 3 months, I'll make another video about working out and see where I'm at. One thing I will say though is that waking up at 6 o'clock every day and working out, while it feels great, I do get very tired later in the day, which is not a terrible thing because then it lets me go to sleep very easily. But if I have things going on later in the day, it becomes quite a challenge. So yeah, I'm still figuring it out, trying to see what works best for me, because at the end of the day, building habits and building a exercise routine for you is all dependent on you. So it's not really ideal to try and fit into somebody else's structure. Design the best workout structure that works for you. Create a plan that allows for you to move your body every single day. It doesn't matter what that looks like, but get out and move, because that's the key to it all, really. I think I've done it. This is so much more solid. I can pretty much do whatever I want on here and it's not going anywhere. I'm trying to move and it's not moving. So I did all of these cross supports over here that kind of hook into or push up against other screws on the side. So having these brackets definitely make it a lot stronger. And I feel pretty confident now that this isn't going anywhere. Yeah. Feels good. This is literally the heaviest my weights can go. So, it is supported. Okay, and final check for the flat bench dumbbell press. Let's see. So last time I did this, the thing kind of caved in when I fell back. So I'm using... So I better do that. Okay. Yeah. Not going anywhere. Okay, now the setting up test. Yes. Woo! A lot more solid. I'm happy with that. I think it's good to go. I'm tired. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about for this video is that working out doesn't have to look like this. One thing that I base almost all of my beliefs on, all of the things I do, is looking at what our ancestors do, what our biology is naturally built to do. Lifting weights was something that was never a thing 100,000 years ago. Like, people didn't go to a gym and work out. So it's definitely not necessary to go to the gym to be a fit and active and healthy person. You also don't need to be ripped to be healthy and look and feel good. Hollywood and social media continually perpetuate unrealistic ideals for what the human body is supposed to look like. I think the best thing you can do is try as much as possible to stop consuming content like that. I know it's difficult in today's day and age, but if you do, at least try and have the awareness to see that that is not real. Most of the actors in Hollywood are on steroids and on insane diets and workout routines that are so unrealistic, it's unbelievable. So it's completely unfair to compare yourself to those kinds of people. Those are not normal people. Those are not healthy people. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that, like I said, you don't have to work out with weights. The best thing you can do to get healthy, to get fit, to get in shape, is to do something that you actually enjoy doing. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I've played soccer my whole life. I've done sports my whole life. And the reason is because it's fun. Not because it keeps me in shape, not because it builds muscle, but because it's something that I genuinely enjoy doing. And so I go back to do that thing, and just by doing that thing, it happens to build muscle. The muscle, the shape, is the byproduct of doing that thing. So find something that lights you on fire, something that you're passionate about, something that gets your body moving. And it doesn't have to be playing a sport even. If you don't like sports, go for a walk on the beach, go for a walk in the forest, go skiing, go snowboarding. Like, it literally, there's so many different ways to move your body. Even if it's not even focused on the body part of it. If it's something like going into the woods to go bird watching, if you really enjoy birds, that'll get you walking to those spaces. You don't have to do something that is incredibly hard. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. to do a workout every day. Do what makes you happy. If you like climbing trees, go climb a tree. That's a form of exercise. If you like swimming in the ocean, go swim in the ocean. When I started rock climbing about 1.5 years ago now, when I started my whole putting on muscle fitness journey, one thing that I didn't realize that would come from climbing, it makes sense in retrospect right now, but that just the very act of climbing would help me build muscle. And it made me realize that in order to build muscle in any area, all you need to be doing is using that muscle continuously, putting it under stress, and your body will adapt and build that muscle stronger. So I didn't climb to build muscle, I climbed because it was a good time and I was having fun. But doing that, my body wasn't strong enough for me to be the best I wanted to be. So by me doing it continuously, my body caught up and I was like, hey, we need more muscle upstairs. Let's send some more of that energy up there so we can build the muscle so you can do this thing that you like doing. And the same goes with soccer. Like, if you're gonna play soccer 3-4 times a week, of course you're gonna build muscle in your legs without even realizing it, because you need that muscle to do that thing. So again, it comes back to doing something that you actually like doing, something that continuously uses the muscles that you want to build. So for example, if you really don't want to go to gym and lift weights, then try out rock climbing. It's a really great sport to build your upper body. I promise you, after your first session, you will be dead. And if you want to get better at it, if you keep going regularly, you will build upper body muscle pretty quickly. On that, I'm still just using my climbing journey as a bit of an example. One thing that Atomic Habits actually mentions is habit pairing. So to pair a habit that you want to start with something that you already do or something that you enjoy doing. So for me, going to the rock climbing gym was really enjoyable. I wanted to be there, I wanted to go. And the rock climbing gyms also just happened to have an actual little gym setup as well. So I would go climbing to go climbing, but after my climbing session, I would almost always go to the gym afterwards. Not because my intention was to go there for the gym, but I was like, I'm here, I'm already warm, I'm feeling it, I might as well just go. And as soon as I started, I actually enjoyed doing that. So the intention, the reward for me was going climbing, going to the rock climbing gym. And then I just happened to go to the gym as well. And so that became synonymous. So I knew that when I was going climbing, I was also going to work out. And so even though I didn't particularly want to work out, I was going climbing. So that made me excited for it. And that was a super easy way for me to keep up to date with it and just keep it on. Okay, I think I covered all my points. I wrote down my points on a old receipt from the library where I took out Matthew McConaughey's Green Lights, which I actually finished about 2 weeks ago. On that note, if you want to see all of the behind the scenes on my notes, how I make my videos, on my monthly inspiration list, all the things that are going on inside of my brain, like actually just have a look at this. Look at all this madness. If you want to see all of this stuff, if you want to know what's going on, check out my monthly newsletter, which is a recap of everything that's gone on for the month, all the videos I've made, all the inspiration I've taken in, some cool art pieces, some inspirational stories, all that kind of stuff. And then I have also launched a Patreon as well, where you'll get inside access to my scripts for my videos and notes and drawings and extra bonus, all of the things. Like so many ideas in my head right now, and I'm so excited about creating and just making things, and I want to share that. And so I think for Patreon, I kind of want it to be like a little bit of a creative school and create like a bit of a creative community, filmmaking community, and just inspire one another, encourage one another, and share stories, share ideas, share inspirations. And yeah, so if that any of that sounds interesting, the links will all be down below. So yeah, thank you for watching. This has been a good one. I've enjoyed making this video. I didn't really plan on making this. Like, this wasn't one of my ideas to make, but it kind of ended up just happening because each week I want these videos just to be a documentation of where I'm at in my life and what I'm thinking about, what's going on, a reflection of me. And currently this is what I'm into, apparently, is lifting up things and building things. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Jump.